Hello, and welcome to a word of hope for Saturday of the 15th week of Ordinary Time. The Gospel of St. Matthew today continues in the challenge of Jesus to the scribes and Pharisees, but also starts to show us the depth of Jesus' nature. Jesus was so full of humanity. Jesus was so good. In the last couple of days, you've heard from Matthew's Gospel how Jesus is challenging the scribes and the Pharisees for making religion so complicated. And today the Gospel says the scribes and the Pharisees start to talk to one another and plot how to kill him. Now Jesus uses his head. And because he realizes they're plotting to kill him, he doesn't just hang around there, but he protects himself. And he withdraws from the territory. But the Gospel says when he withdraws that many people followed him. And he cured them all, but he warned them not to make him known. What strikes me so much about that was Jesus was practical, Jesus was realistic, Jesus withdrew because he was threatened. But when the people followed him and he saw their need once again, he continued to minister to them. Jesus was not paralyzed by the threats against him, but Jesus continued to heal. Jesus continued to serve and to show the depth of his compassion for people who suffer. We're somewhat in the same place today because of this pandemic and because of all the social unrest all around us in our country, from the very top to bottom. We're in somewhat the same position, and we're challenged by the gospel to, like Jesus, not let the threats around us paralyze us and keep us from still doing good. I believe we are like that. We are just like Jesus. And I'm not just talking about the first responders. I'm not just talking about those who put themselves in harm's way by going to the hospital and serving as doctors and nurses and people who care for the dying. I'm talking about all of us. I know the stories that you're all part of. I know how you call one another, how you support one another through those phone calls. I know how many of you are taking to letter writing again and to sending notes to people who might be living alone. I know how many of you are reaching out to one another and showing the care of Jesus in your care of one another. The gospel today gives us reinforcement in that, and that's our hope, that Jesus was not paralyzed by the threats against him, and you and I are not paralyzed either. Each of us in our own way is doing our part. God bless you for that.